Hello, am I audible to you?
You are audible.
Yes. Can we start or we should wait for 2 or 3 minutes more so that people can come and join us? So let's wait for 2 or 3 minutes more so that people can join.
Okay.
So I think we should start because it has been 6:05. So my name is Jyoti Sharma and I'm PhD second year student in ICER Bhopal. And I will be the teaching assistant of Dr. Ankur Avadhia for this course. So I will be taking your queries and I will solve some question and answer for this course so that you can pass your examination with very good marks, right? So can you please introduce yourself so that I can get the idea like how much you people know about this conservation geography. So please tell your name and then your qualification, like what's your current educational status so that I can get an idea. So let's start with Prajit. Prajit, can you please speak about yourself? Prajit?
Yeah, ma'am. Let me introduce myself. So,
Yeah.
I am Prajit and I am currently pursuing my final year of undergraduation triple E. So, electronics and electrical and electronics engineering.
Okay.
So, this is my final year of my undergraduation, and I
So
have,
why did you? Yes.
yeah, yes, ma'am. That is what I am
So why
coming
did
to.
so, so why did you join the conservation geography? Like, is it related to your course work or something like that?
No, ma'am, no, no. Oh, no. My ambition is to become is to clear UPSC. So I'm UPSC
Okay,
aspirant.
okay, okay.
So I thought
Then
of taking it,
welcome.
and when I was
Okay,
joining
then
that, I came to know that the professor who was instructor who was teaching this course is also an IFS officer, it seems. So that is the thing
yes,
which motivated to
exactly.
use.
This co Exactly. This course will be very helpful for your UPSC because ecology and this geography, it is very much like asked in the UPSC. So yes, it will be very helpful for you. Anshu, can you please introduce yourself?
Myself, Ansu Barnwal, and I am doing Master of Arts in Geography from Banaras Hindu University.
Oh, Anshu, that's very good. So you can help me while I'm teaching because I'm not from the geographical background and we need some people from geography so that they can correct me and give me the right answer sometime. So nice to see you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Supriya, can you please introduce yourself?
Ma'am, myself Supriya Patro. I am currently studying at Banaras Hindu University in geography, and this was my course,
Okay, okay.
conduct geography. That's why I joined the class.
Okay, so you are also from geography background, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Momita Chatterjee, please can you describe yourself?
Good evening, ma'am. Myself, Momita Chatterjee, and I'm doing my
Mhm.
master's in geography from Banaras Hindu University.
Okay, so you must be friends, right?
Yes, ma'am. We know each other.
Okay, that's great actually.
Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
so thank you. Anjali, can you please describe yourself? Anjali?
हाँ मैम.
Yes, can you please describe yourself like in which course you've been studying and about yourself something?
ना बुझली मैम.
Yeah. Like what's your current educational status? I just want to know.
मैम आई स्टडी पीजी इन ओडिया सब्जेक्ट में पंचायत कराई वर्ग.
Okay, okay. Okay, means diversity is there in this course. Okay, thank you. Ujma, can you please describe yourself? Ujma, am I audible? Ujma? Okay, so I think this much student we have in this live session. So I should share my screen to you all. So my screen is visible to you?
यस
Yes,
मैम.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So there are three things that we will do in this live session. The first thing we will do that whatever the queries you have, we will try to solve it. Okay. So it may or may not be that I know the answer. Okay. So if I know the answer, I will try to solve your queries in the current session. And if I don't know, then I have to explore more, right? So for this, in the next session, I will solve your query. So this will be the first thing. The second thing, I have some questions and solutions for you so that the it may be that this type of question may come directly to your examination. So we will take that question and we will solve these questions as well. So this will be our second agenda, and third agenda will be like because you attended the 3-hour class in a week. So we will try to summarize the weekly syllabus. Okay, we will try to revise it. And my presentation is all about like summarize it using the question and solution. Okay, so this live session is all about the discussion. Okay, so we will do the lot of discussion. Please do participate, please do communicate so that we can do it a very better way, right? And we will interact, we will learn more, right? So let's summarize. Can anyone please explain what's the difference between conservation and preservation? Will someone explain, please? What's the difference between preservation and conservation?
So can I explain it?
What?
Can I explain it?
Yeah, sure. Yes,
Okay.
please.
So from the video lectures which I have seen, I came to know that the basic difference between a conservation and preservation is that conservation is something we are protecting a plant or animal flora or fauna with the human participation. Whereas in case of preservation, there will be no human intervention. Without that, there will be a specific place where the specific flora or fauna will be preserved. That is what I gathered from the video lecture.
Yes, exactly. This is the same thing. Like in the preservation, I show you. So if it is a forest and suppose this forest have some disease, so for to remove the disease, to treat the forest, we have to take the human intervention. And if there is any human intervention, then we will say that we are conserving the forest. Okay, and if we are just leaving this forest as it is for the thousands of year, hundreds of year, then we will say that it is the preservation, right? So yes, your answer was right. So the first thing is based on like whether human intervention is here or not. If human intervention is here, then we will say that the protection is known as the conservation. And if human intervention is not present, then we will say that this is kind of preservation, right? And because we need some food, we have some demand. Okay, so the growing population need everything from the forest. Okay, so we can't preserve the forest because we need many things from the forest, right? So in the conservation, because human is intervening, so in the conservation, resource extraction can be done. Like we can take honey from the forest, we can take wood from the forest to make the furniture, but in the preservation this can't be done, right? So the first point will be the human intervention. The second point will be like the resource extraction can be done in conservation, while in preservation this can be done, right? The third point is restoration. So can someone please explain what is restoration? Can someone please explain what is restoration? Anshu, do you know what is restoration?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so restoration is nothing but to restore the original position, right? So if some forest has been degraded, if some forest has been like has some disease, so we want to restore is at the as the original form. Okay, so this is the restoration. So if we have the human intervention, this restoration process can be expedite. We can fastly do the restoration, but if we leave the forest as it is, then it take very much time or so much time to restore the forest, right? So this is just Did you get like what is the restoration, Anshu?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, restoration can be done both by the conservation and preservation, but the process of restoration can be expedited by conservation rather than preservation. So, can you please tell me which approach is more practical, conservation or preservation?
Conservation.
Which one? Preservation.
Conservation, ma'am.
Conservation, right? And why it is more practical?
Since along with the protecting those plant or animals, as well as we are providing human interventions too.
uh this is partially correct, but the answer is why it is more practical, because we can get resource from the forest while conserving it, right? So because we can't leave the forest as it is, well, so we can't use the resources of forest while preservation, right? So in this scenario, in this warming scenario, we must have something from the forest, and it would be more practical for us to get something from the forest. So that's why the conservation is more practical, right? Did you get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then, but the important thing while conservation is that you must have some background knowledge of forest before intervention, because if you don't have the knowledge of forest, if you don't have the knowledge of ecosystem, and you entered into it, you make a strategy in such a way that it affect in a positive way to one side, but it can affect the other side in a very negative way, right? So suppose you are just opening the canopy so that some plant can get the sunlight, but this opening of canopy by human can also give the negative result to some species that like the shady areas. Okay, so you must have some background knowledge, not some background knowledge, but you must be expert, like what's the forest ecology is and how one variable is attached to the different variable, what's the association between it. So preservation is nothing, you are just leaving the forest as it is, but in the conservation, because you are intervening, so you must have some expertise about this forest. So multi-dimensional knowledge before execution is important for the conservation, right? uh so can someone please explain right now, ki, what's the difference between conservation and preservation, except Parajit? Arun Kumar, can you please explain? Arun Kumar? I think he's gone somewhere else. Superior Patra, can you please explain? Superior? Anshu? Ujma? Uh, am I audible or not? Prajit, am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible.
Okay, okay, then fine. Okay, so let's start with different things. So the second question is, how does the human impact on the environment? Prajit, can you please explain how how the human impact on environment?
There are multiple factors which affects the which are human impacting on those environment. So it's like
One or two?
overusage of so overutilization, that is over extraction of the resources in the environment.
Yes. Okay,
Next, it
so
is
let's
like
start. Okay, let's start with the overconsumption. So if you have a pond and in this pond you have a 200 of fishes, so if human consumption is more, then at a one time these fishes will be like finished. The pond will have no fishes. So and the food chain, food web, everything will be affecting. Okay, so human consumption is the one factor that human affect on the environment, right? The second is habitat destruction. This habitat destruction can be like divided into four part. The first is fragmentation, the second is degradation, then displacement and loss. Okay, so fragmentation is nothing but if we are cutting the habitat area in two or three regions, like if we are building a road, constructing a road between a forest, then we are just dividing the forest into two small parts. Okay, so this is kind of fragmentation, and this is not very much comfortable for the animals that need a large area to survive, right? So this is the fragmentation. If we talk about the degradation, then yes, if there is a industry and it is pouring so much toxic chemical into a river or a pond, then it will pollute the water bodies, and the fish will die off. Okay, so because it is degrading the habitat of fishes, right? So this is the degradation. The third is displacement, because in Uttarakhand mostly the people are living on the mountains, right? So these people are initially they used to live in the foothills of the mountain, but slowly they are just shifting upward, so that the forest and the organisms that were at the like 1 kilometer elevation, now they have to displace themselves to the 2 kilometer or somewhat higher side, right? So this is the displacement of the habitat. And the worst case is loss. If we are just taking their forest area and creating a company in that area, then yes, the habitat is lost. So this is kind of loss condition. So the first is overconsumption, the second is habitat destruction. If you have any doubt, you can please ask me in between, right? The third is desertification. So can anyone please explain what is desertification? Will someone speak? Prajit, what is desertification?
I think land getting mostly converted into desert area, that is dry lands, due to some of the human behavior, like mm, heating of earth, global warming. It results in making the grasslands into a dry lands.
This is the one of the reason. Other can be like if we are using the fertilization, if we are doing the cropping two or three times in a year. So these cropland nutrients has been gone. Okay, so after some time, because we are doing cropping two or three times in a year, so if there is nothing like moisture is getting reduced, the nutrient is getting reduced, so the fertile land will convert into the desert type soil. Okay, so this is the desertification. And if this happens, the microbes living in the soil will not survive. The forest will not grow in the desert land. Okay, so this is the human impact on the environment, right? The fourth is acidification. Can someone please explain ocean acidification, what it is? Except Parajit. Please communicate. You will get confidence while writing your examination. This is kind of preparation and revising your syllabus.
Ma'am, decrease in the ocean's pH value.
Yes, exactly. And can you please tell me, like, why this is happening? Why the pH is decreasing of the ocean water?
Ma'am, mainly due to the carbon dioxide emissions that are caused by the human activities in the oceans.
Yes, exactly. As not very much human activities in the ocean, but yes, because we are releasing so much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, this atmosphere carbon dioxide react with the water, and it will create the carbonic acid, bicarbonic acid, and carbonates. And these type of species like carbonate, bicarbonate, carbonic acid, these have the H plus ions. And the more H plus ion will be, less the pH. Okay. And can you someone please explain, like, what is the definition of pH? pH is what? Can someone please explain? pH is nothing but the logarithm of H plus ion concentration. Like, if you have the H plus ion concentration, so logarithm of this H plus ion concentration is the pH. Okay, so if you have mixed the carbon dioxide in the water, this has released the H plus ion in the ocean. Okay, so if there is 10 raised to power 3 H plus ion concentration in the ocean, then this will give rise to the pH value of 3, because this is the log value of 10 raised to power 3. Okay, so, and can someone please explain, like, what will be the effect of this ocean acidification on the organisms living in the ocean? Please speak. Have some about these coral reefs? Does someone know about this coral reef? Because this coral reef survive in a very narrow range of ocean pH and temperature. Okay, so if this range, if it deviate from that range, then coral reef will die, and you will be very surprised that in this scenario the coral reef is devastating in a very fast range. And just trust me, these coral reefs are so beautiful to see, and they are just maintaining the whole system, like not only ocean, but it is regulating the atmosphere as well. So if the ocean acidification is being going on, then there will be no coral reef, there will be no this carbonate shelling on the atmosphere shell, sorry, not organism shell. Okay, so you will see that most of the organism will die after ocean acidification. Then the ozone depletion. So because of some gases like CFCs, chlorofluorocarbon, then fluoride carbons. These type of gases are reacting with the ozone and depleting it. Like, and after depletion, what happens? This ultraviolet radiation enters into the atmosphere, and cancer like cancer like diseases can be happen, because we are not we can't tolerate this ultraviolet radiation in such a large extent. So can someone please explain, like, what is the unit of ozone? How do we measure it? Can someone please tell me what's the unit of ozone? Like, it is a thickness, no? It is like, it is present in the stratosphere, and we measure is at a length. Okay, so what is the unit in which we measure the ozone? Can someone please tell
Ma'am,
me?
is it Dobson unit?
Yes, exactly, Momita. It is Dobson. So, uh, right now we must have like 10 Dobson, 10 Dobson, I think. To 10 Dobson is a like healthy thickness of the ozone, and if we are just reducing it, then yes, we will face the consequences of ultraviolet radiation. And can someone explain that, because of chlorofluorocarbon, that CFCs were reducing the ozone. So which conference led to the phase out of these CFCs? What was the name of that conference in which it was said that we have to like phase out the CFCs from our lifestyle, so that ozone can regain its strength? What was the name of the conference? Rajit, do you know the name of that conference?
I have no idea about that.
Uh,
Ma'am,
has
Montreal
yes.
Protocol was on the ozone layer depletion.
Yes, exactly. So it was the Montreal Protocol in 1987, in which it was said that it is a high time that we have to remove the CFCs from the atmosphere. So we have to avoid the use of these gases, so that ozone can regain its strength and we can protect ourselves from ultraviolet radiation. So please remember that this was the Montreal Protocol in 1987. Okay. Then it was change in biogeochemical cycle. Biogeochemical cycle is nothing but like how the energy is being transferred from lithosphere to atmosphere to biosphere. So this energy transfer is getting affected because of the human intervention. Then we can say that we are changing the biogeochemical cycles. Okay. The next is loss of biodiversity and extinction. Yes, it is very obvious that because we human have a kind of nature of selecting one organism. Like, we just love the cat, we just love the dog, we don't want to see the pig in our area, right? We don't want to see very cruel and dirty animals nearby, so we just select few animals nearby to us. Okay, so this is the one reason that we are just selecting one or two organisms out of thousands of species nearby. And then yes, because we are polluting the environment, we are just destructing the habitat of the organism. So see where this organism will live. You didn't give them the space to live. Okay, so we are the main driver of the loss of biodiversity and their extinction. We humans are very cruel. Then the changes in species distribution. If you know that in a forest, if there is a four type of species, like if there is a pine, if there is a devdar, and then a quercus species in a forest, then after some year you will see that there is no quercus in that area, or that quercus has been replaced by some other species. Okay, so we are just changing the species distribution of that area, and each area have the specific species distribution, and if we are disturbing it, then the whole forest ecology is being affecting by this. So yes, this is also the human impact on the environment. Climate change is a very big word, and you all know that we are just changing the climate. Can you please someone explain that what's the difference between climate and weather? What's the difference between climate and weather? Prajit?
Weather is a day-to-day environmental factors like its
Mm-hmm.
temperature, humidity of a place, which is measured in
Mm-hmm.
a day-to-day activity. Then it is weather. In case
Mm-hmm.
of climate, it is a seasonal thing like a rainy season and so on, rainy, sunny days and so on.
Okay. Yes, yes, exactly. So weather is what you see in day to day life. Okay, so this is weather, and climate is like after doing the average of this weather for 10 or 20 years or 30 years, we get some average value. Okay, so the average of the weather is known as the climate. And if it is raining outside, and but in the last year it was not raining, we can't say that this is the climate change. But if it is repeating every year, then we will say yes, the climate is changing. We must have to differentiate between weather and climate every time, right? So, climate change is nothing but change in the climatic parameter. It is the temperature, the rainfall, the relative humidity, the wind speed. So, whenever there is a change in the statistical description of the climatic variables, then we will say that this is the climate change, right? Then the soil erosion. Uh, the most fertile land, the most fertile layer of the soil, if it is eroded, then this land will convert into the desert land. Okay, so this is the one of the important point that we must consider in our mind. The next is introduction to invasive species. So can someone please explain what is invasive species? Momita?
No idea, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So this invasive species is nothing but we can call it the alien species. Like these are not the native species. In India, we know some type of grasses, but if we get some grasses from the like from different country, let's say from the USA or from Australia, and if we grow that grass in India, then this will be the invasive species. Why the invasive species? Because this species will not have any competition with other grasses. Okay, because this is not the native. This may have some other strategy to survive. Okay, so this can be spread in thousands of kilometers of area, and if it's spread to that much area, it will destroy the native species. So this is kind of invasive species. Yes, Arun Kumar. Okay, so how they are introduced? There is a very different stories about introducing it. Like the one is, you know the lantana camera. This is very beautiful ornamental plant. Okay, so one person from India saw that beautiful ornamental plant, and he thought that yes, I should grow it in India. Okay, so he brought it from the America and grow it in India. But after that, we got to know that this is the invasive species. Okay, so what to do? It has been spread over thousands of areas. Okay, so this is the one of the reason. The second can be like, if we are importing some type of seeds or grain from different country, so it may be that the seed can be germinate in our country at one time. So yes, yes, Prajeet, what happened?
Can we say that reintroduction of this cheetahs into our Kuno National Park, this Madhya Pradesh, that can also be an invasive species? From Africa, it is
What
being
please repeat?
imported to India.
What?
African cheetahs are being introduced in India.
No, this is not the invasive species, because uh, there were very scientific like knowledge behind the reintroduction of cheetah is in Madhya Pradesh, because the cheetah we had in the India is very similar to the cheetah we brought from the Africa. So the ecological behavior of that cheetah is very same to our Indian cheetah. So it will not affect to the Indian species whatever we have in India. Okay, so this is not the kind of invasive species.
Okay,
Is it
ma'am.
clear? Yes. So, and yes, I will show you one picture of you. I think you saw that picture. Someone want to join? Let me admit it. Okay. So the introduction of invasive species, pollution, you know that yes, we are the humans that pollute the environment, right? Next. So I think this has you people know all about this human impact on environment, and every point has been cleared. If it is not, please raise your hand or ask me directly. I will give the answer of it. Is every point clear to you all people?
It's clear, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So let's start with the need of conservation. So why we are so much worried to conserve the nature? So what is the need of this conservation? So because we want to conserve the forest, conserve the water. Why we want to conserve the water? Because without water we can't survive, right? We need good air conservation. Why? Because we need oxygen to survive, to inhale, right? We need biodiversity conservation, because if we don't have the tree, this will not give us the oxygen. If there is a no bee, then your crop can be destructed by a different type of insects. If there is no microbes, then your soil will not be suitable for the cropping. Okay, so we just need to conserve every good part of the nature. So this is the need. So ecosystem as a whole, we have to conserve it. So the basically is, we people are very hungry, we have some demands, and we need to fulfill our human needs. So that's why we want to conserve the nature, right? The next question is, what is conservation geography? Can someone please explain what is conservation geography? What is geography actually? What is geography and what is conservation geography? Khushbu, can you please explain what is geography? Prabha Pandey. Okay, Prajit, what is geography? Okay, Anshu, please. Yes.
Ma'am, the study of the world surface, physical qualities, climate, population change, and many things we can study in the geography, and map is also.
Okay, yes. But this can be explained in better way, in such a way that, yes, in the geography, it is a study of areal differentiation. Like if in one area there is something, in different area there is something, then we just want to know, like, what are these things? Why these things are in that place only? Okay, so geography is just the areal differentiation of the things. Like for example, if we want to know about the rivers, so we want to know that, like, where are the river present. Okay, so the next question will be, like, why these rivers are there only, why not on other places? Okay, so this type of questions can be considered into geography. And if we are if we are defining this conservation geography, then we will say that the areal differentiation of the issues of conservation, like what are the issues of conservation, what is the pattern of these issues of conservation, and where it is, and why it is where it is. Okay, so this type of question can be solved in the conservation geography. So let's start with it. So, conservation geography is the study of areal differentiation of issues of geography. And what is geography? Geography is a study of areal differentiation, variation in the phenomena in different regions, and causal relationships between the variation and the areas involved. So, the first question in the geography comes, what is formed? So, in the conservation geography, we can say, what are the issues of the conservation, right? In the geography, we ask the question where it is formed. So, in the conservation geography, we can ask the question, where are the issues of conservation concentrated? In third question in geography is, why it is formed, where it is formed. So in the conservation geography, we can ask the question, why are they concentrated where they are? So for example, we have someone want to join. Oh, someone join. Okay. Someone. Okay, so for example, if very near to the industries area, our species are being affecting. So we just want to know that, like, why these species are being affected in that areas only. Okay, so we want to get the reason, we want to see the pattern, like if there is a kind of factory where this species is being affecting, then is it same that in a different place there is a factory and species also being affecting? So this kind of areal differentiation, the studies can be done in the conservation geography. And after that, because we know that areas where the species are being affecting, where the species is more concentrated, like the endemic species and the hotspot region. Hotspot regions are where the most of endemic species or the species restricted to a particular place is present. No other places this species can be found. So there are some areas where there is a lot of species, so we can conserve these areas. That's why we must know about this conservation geography. Anyone has any question about it? Conservation geography? Okay, so let's proceed. I think this has been done. Now the geography in Anthropocene. Can someone please explain what is Anthropocene? Prajit, what is Anthropocene?
Era when the human activities impacts the environment is known as the Anthropocene.
Yes, when the era which is mostly driven by the human beings, right? So this is the era is controlled by the activities of human beings. So this era started since from which year? It started since 1945. This is the beginning of this Anthropocene era, because at that time the nuclear explosion was done. Okay, so we thought that this should be the time when we should consider that the Anthropocene has been started. So the question has been asked in the UPSC, I think, about this Trinity explosion, when this happened and what it signifies. So it signifies the beginning of the Anthropocene. Okay, and it happened in 1945. So basically, we studied Anthropocene geography since 1945. The first thing here, the nature is humanized. Can someone please explain the humanized nature? What is humanized nature? Momita? Superior? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. So humanized nature is that we are just controlling the nature. For example, the forest used to be there were a very natural forest hundred of years ago, but right now we need the timber from the forest. That's why we are just cutting the different varieties of species from the forest and just growing that teak plants in that, or some popular trees, that trees only, from where we can get the timber. Okay, so these are not the natural forest right now, these are the humanized forest. Okay, so in the Anthropocene, the nature is like not the nature, actually it is the humanized nature. Okay, so we talk about the humanized nature in Anthropocene, and human beings are naturalized. Why they are naturalized? Because they are adjusting according to the nature. If nature is very cold, then we are just putting on a very thick coat over our body. So we are just naturalized ourselves. So whenever we study the geography in Anthropocene, so the 3 points we must need to consider. The first is, it's the Anthropocene started from 1945 with and here the nature is humanized and human beings are naturalized. Okay. Fourth question is, there is two approaches to study geography. What are these two approaches? Rajit?
Systemic and regional approach.
Yes, the first is systematic and the second is regional. Okay, so if we talk about the systematic has been invented by this Alexander von Humboldt. Okay, and this approach revolves around the study over the world. Okay, so we are not just selecting a region and studying that region only. We just study all over the world. Okay, so this is the systematic approach, and the branches in systematic approaches are: the one is physical geography, the second is human geography, the third is principle or philosophy geography. The fourth is method and techniques. The fifth is biogeography. So this is the systematic approach to study the geography. If we talk about that regional approach, then it was invented by Carl Ritter. And here the study reason is only a area. Okay, so let's say we are studying about Delhi, so we just want to know the population of Delhi, okay, and their pattern, and why there is why one region is highly concentrated, highly populated in Delhi, and in one region the population is very uniform. So why this is happening, why this pattern is why this pattern why this pattern is. So this kind of studies are being done in regional approach. Here we only study a reason, okay, and the study is same like the systematic, but here the study reason is only a small portion of the word. Here the branches are regional or aerial studies, the regional development, regional analysis, regional planning. Okay, so I think you know about this approaches very well. Please remember the name of the scientist, because it can be asked in your question, like who invented which approach. Okay. Uh, the next question is, what is HIPPO? Like, this is the acronym. So what is the full form of HIPPO? Can someone please tell? Dr. Ankur taught about this HIPPO and discussed at length about HIPPO. What it is? So H
Ma'am, no idea.
means, okay, I'm just explaining. Okay, so H means habitat loss. I means invasive species. P means pollution. The second P means human overpopulation, and O means over exploitation. Okay, so please remember this full form, because this will be very helpful while answering the question like why the habitat loss is being happening. So we can relate it with the pollution, with the human overpopulation, with the over exploitation. So whatever the impact on the human, the answer can be found in this HIPPO acronym itself. Okay, so you must remember the full form of this. This is the uh, uh, lantana camera. Have you have you uh, have you seen that nearby the roads? Someone, please. This beautiful plant.
No,
Have
ma'am.
someone seen that? This is the invasive plant, and you will see everywhere. They like wherever you go, you will see that plant, like nearby bushes. Everywhere you will see that plant, and this is invasive in that much. It is affecting our native species, that it is just destroying everything and just replacing the whole landscape with the lantana camera. So this is very dangerous species. Okay, so please remember it. Remember the picture of this. Okay, so what is biogeography? Biogeography consists of two words, the bio and the second is geography. So we will study the areal differentiation of the life forms, all the life forms we have on the earth. Okay, so the study of geographical distribution of life on earth and the reason for the patterns one observe on different continent, islands and oceans. So this is biogeography. And in there is one terminology, this is range. So range is the geographical area within which that species can be found, because each species have some range, because each species can't survive in a very cold climate, can't survive in the warm climate, can't survive in a like dry condition, can't survive in a very humid condition. So each species have some specific requirement. And because of that specific requirement, suppose one species need the temperature from 10 to 20 degree, relative humidity from 30 to 40 degree, so these species will survive only that areas now, in which that type of climate persist. Okay, so this will be the range of that species. This species can't grow everywhere because every species has a range. Okay, this is the example. Like if you see that camel can be seen only in the desert area. If we see the cheetahs can be seen in the grassland areas. So every species has some range in which they survive, otherwise they will not survive, right? So you must need to consider the range whenever you study the biogeography. Okay, so one of the important question, what is the pull factor and the push factor? So someone may know the answer. Can someone please explain what is the pull factor and push factor? I'm just waiting for the answer. Can someone please explain? If you have attended the SIRS class, then you will definitely know this pull and push factor. You can define it even from the word push. Push means you are just creating such an environment that a species cannot survive in that area, and you are pushing it somewhere else to survive. And if you are providing a better environment, a suitable environment, you are pushing the species, please come and survive here, please grow here. So there are some factors that are pushing the organism out of that area. There are some factors that are pulling the species to come in that areas. Okay, so push factors are the condition that drive organisms from an area. Okay, so if there is a food scarcity, if there is a no food, then why species will come and survive here? Because the species can survive in the scarcity of food. Okay, so there must be a plenty of food to survive. So if there is no food, then we will say that it is a push factor. If the climate is very harsh, like if there is a like always the 0 degree temperature, if there is always the above 50 degrees Celsius temperature, then we will say that yes, it is very harsh uh, climate condition that the organism can't survive. So climate is just pushing the species out of that area. Okay, so this is the push factor. Then if there are predators, if there are so many lions or like tigers, the deer will try to go somewhere away from that predators na. Why will they go very near to the predators? Okay, so if there are large number of predators, then some organisms will go away from that area. So predators are the push factor for the prey organisms. If there is a competition of food, if there is a competition of that reason, that habitat, then of course it will be the push factor. It will like push the organism to go somewhere else and please leave there. So this is the push factor. If we consider the pull factor, then these are the conditions that attract organism to an area. If there is a food availability, if there is a good favorable climate for us, absence of predators, then we can say that these are the pull factors. Okay, so from this picture, you can see that this is the push factor and this is the pull factor. In this example, you can see that, like, if there is an industries, near to the industries there will be the facility of market, there will be the facilities of schools, and if in one area there is nothing, so these area of industries, schools and hospital will attract the people to go. The same way you can see that the migration of people from rural to urban area. Why this is happening? Because there is like there is a very much job opportunity in the urban area. So this job opportunity is the pull factor that is pulling the people in the urban area, and there is a, like, there is no facility in the rural areas. So we can say that the no facility in the rural area is the pushing factor that are pushing people from rural areas. Okay, so I think this is clear, like what is push factor and pull factor. I will explain it more. So whenever we try to answer the question, like why this is happening, like why the organism is not here, we are doing the areal differentiation now. While the tropical forest is only found in the tropical area, not in different area, so we will consider what are the push factor that are resisting the tropical forest being in the temperate forest or somewhere else. Okay, so this pull factor and push factor, they give the answer of why questions. Okay, so this is very important. What is tree line, and why to mention here, like what is tree line? Can someone please explain what is tree line? Have you slept? Have you slept, or
No.
what is tree line?
Tree line is something like a horizontal line beyond which, that is beyond their altitude, there will be no plantations or something like that, and below which there will be a plantation. It is a case for an mountainous slopes.
Yes, exactly. So tree line is at some elevation. There is no tree above that elevation. So the line from where there will be no tree, and that line only below that there is a tree. So that line is the tree line. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. So can you see here in these mountains? You can see here, up to here only there are trees, and above that there are no any tree. So we can say that this is the tree line, this is the tree line for this mountain. Okay, so why we are mentioning this tree line? Because there are some push factor that are resisting the plant growth above that elevation. So what can be the reason? What can be the that push factor? So let's study that. Lack of soil, because above that area there is no soil. So if there is, because the slope is very steep there, and we will not get the soil there. And if there is no soil, how the tree will grow? So this is the push factor. The lack of soil is the push factor that is making that tree line. Drought condition, because in that area we will not see the wet precipitation, but we will see the dry precipitation there. So this will create the drought condition. This is also the push factor that is creating the tree line. Then the desiccation of leaf in cold winters, because because you know that with the elevation the temperature decreases, and in the top of the mountain that much chilling temperature will desiccate the leaf. Then this plant will not survive there. So this is also the push factor. the lack of snow exposing plant to winter dryness. It may be that there is no snow, and snow is sometimes important to be there in winter so that it can avoid the exposing of plant in dryness. Okay, so it may be that there is a no snow. This may be one condition at the top of the mountain. There may be excessive snow, and if there is a excessive snow, then again this will create the problem. This will reduce the growing season of the trees. Okay, so growing season is like we must have some temperature range in which the plant grows. So if there is a excessive snow and there is a very low temperature all over the summer, then there will be no growing season over there. This is again the short growing season because of the excessive snow. Then rapid heat loss at night, because here the atmosphere is very thin, so this will create the rapid heat loss at the night. Then excessive soil temperature in a day, you know that the radiation will come directly to the top of the mountains, and this excessive soil temperature can also resist the growth of the plant. And then the mechanical aspect of the high wind, because at that high elevation the wind speed is very high and it can like remove the whole plant in one go. So this is the mechanical aspect of the high wind. So here push factor dominates over pull factor, and this is the reason why there is a tree line and why we mentioned here the tree line, right? So is it clear to the all? If there is any question, you can ask me. Is there any question? Is there any question?
No.
Everything is clear to you people? Because we are just revising the syllabus in the form of question and answers. So I think that 3 hours of teaching by this sir will be revised in this live session, and here you can communicate with me in such a way that we can find the solution and we can discuss if you have any type of problem, right? So okay, let's come to the next question. This has been clear to you all. This is very important. Like there is a two ecology laws. So can someone please tell me the name of two ecology law? These are very important in ecology. Whenever you are studying the forest, whenever you studying the ecology part, then these law are the basic thing that you need to know. What are the two ecology laws? Okay, the first is Lebig law of the minimum. Lebig law of the minimum, it says that if we have a nutrient or something that in a very low concentration than the requirement, then it will control the growth of that organism. Okay, so let's say we have nitrogen, we have phosphorus. Okay, so we need 100% of nitrogen, we need 100% of phosphorus for the growth. And if we have let's say 90% nitrogen and 70% of phosphorus in the forest, then this 70% of phosphorus will inhibit the growth. It will be the controlling factor of the growth. Okay, so we will not see like which is in the maximum concentration. No, we will see the nutrients which is in the minimum concentration as per the requirement. So that nutrient, that concentration only will control the organism's growth. So this is the rate of any biological process is limited by that factor in least amount related to requirement. So there is a single limited factor. So I give you an example. You people must know about the eutrophication. Eutrophication is nothing but when we get a rich nutrients in the pond, so pond get converted into a land type ecosystem. Like we will uh, in in initial year there is a very transparent water in a pond, but after few years you will see that the water has been turbid and the plant has been growing from the pond. Okay, why this is happening? Because the nutrient richment is being done. Like we are just supplying the nutrients in the pond in such a way that it is performing the eutrophication process. Eutrophication is nothing, just the being old, being old the pond. Okay, aging of the pond, you can say, right? So if you know that, if we want to control that eutrophication, so we must know that what type of nutrient we are supplying to the pond, and that what is that nutrient that is least in amount related to the requirement. So the eutrophication is being done by the nitrogen and phosphorus, and the amount which is in the which is least in amount, it is the phosphorus. Okay, so if we just remove the phosphorus from the pond, then we can just control the eutrophication. But if we just control the nitrogen, no, we can't stop the eutrophication. That's here the Liebig law of the minimum applies. Okay, the second law is Shalford law of tolerance. It says that the geographical distribution of species will be controlled by that environmental factor for which the species has the narrowest range of tolerance. So let's have an example that there is a species which can only survive in the temperature 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, and but it can survive in the humidity from 30 to 40. Okay, so here the distribution will be controlled by temperature, because the range is very narrow. Range is only like 20 to 25 degree. It is only 5 degrees Celsius. So if we are deviating from that range of tolerance, then this species will not be survive. So the distribution of species is being controlled by the temperature, because temperature is the narrow range of tolerance here. Okay, so here is the example. Here is the optimum range. You can see here is the environmental factors. Optimum range, like in that range only the species growth is at the peak. But if we deviate from that optimum range, like from here the positive, here the negative, so this is the range of tolerance. Here the species will be at the peak, but from here to here the species will survive but will not create the peak. But after and before that range of tolerance, species cannot survive. So each species has a range of tolerance, and the distribution is being controlled by the narrowest range of tolerance of that environmental factor. Okay, so these are the two ecological laws that you must know, right? Is everything clear about these laws, or some more explanation is needed? Uh, will someone please explain these two laws? Rajiv?
Ma'am, can you explain it once more?
Yeah, sure. So this the first law is Liebig's law of the minimum. It says that if we have like the minimum quantity of a nutrient, or that is required for the survival of the organism, If it is in a list quantity, then this list quantity will control the biological process of the organism. Okay, so if we need the nitrogen in high concentration but phosphorus in low concentration, but we don't have the phosphorus in that much amount that is required, then the phosphorus will decide the biological process, whether it will proceed or not. So this is the nutrient that is required in less amount, but this is necessary to be there. And if it is not there, then it will control the biological process. Okay, and the second is Shelford law of tolerance. This is nothing but the distribution, like where the species will live, depend on the narrowest range of tolerance, narrowest range of environmental factors. Like if we have a narrowest range of temperature but the wide range of precipitation, then temperature will decide the distribution of species, not the precipitation. Did you get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. If you didn't get it, then in the next class I can explain it more. Is any doubt? Is any doubt about this ecology law?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so here is some example of push and pull factors. The first is allelopathy. What is allelopathy? Allelopathy is nothing but some trees secrete some chemicals in such a way that it inhibit the growth of the neighboring plants. Okay, so this is the allopathy. Like it is, allopathy has the push factor effect. It is pushing the plant away from the plant that is releasing that chemicals. These chemicals can be released by the leaf. You can see here, from the leaf, this plant can release the chemical. This can release the chemical in the soil and in the through the roots, or it can like create some organisms that can inhibit the growth of the roots of this plant. Okay, so it is nothing but the allelopathy is some kind of chemicals are being secreted by the plants in such a way that it inhibit the growth of other plant nearby to it. And this is the property of the invasive plants. So I was talking about that lantana camera na. So in that lantana camera, it secretes that chemical in such a way that it destroy the other plants, and it just flourish over the landscape. So this is kind of allopathy, is a push factor effect. uh, is everything clear about the allelopathy? Because allelopathy is like terminology you will encounter while studying that course many times. Okay, so I think allelopathy is clear for you. The second is predation. I already told you that if there is a tiger and and if there is a deer, then deer will go away from the tiger, na, from that region where tiger live. Okay, so predation is the push factor that will push the deer away from that region. Okay, so predation is a push factor. Okay, the next is interspecific competition. There is a competition between two species, and if there is a competition between two species, they will compete for the food, they will compete for the habitat, and they will push each other from that region. Okay, so this is again the push factor. The next is habitat selection. Do you know that some plants have the like behavioral pattern that like us, we want something like we have two colors now, black or white. We will say that I need just the black color, not the white. We have some preferences. So animals or tree also have some preferences over the habitat. They just want to live at one specific region, not to the other, because this is their behavior. Okay, so because of that behavior, whatever the reason they are selecting, this will be the pull factor, because that reason is being selecting, and some reason will be discarded because of the organism behavior. Then the discarded reason will create the push factor, right? So this is the habitat selection. And the next is dispersal. Dispersal is nothing but you will see that seed disperse from one place to another place. So, and this seed will germinate through the another place, and it will grow, and it will become a tree. So this is the dispersal. Dispersal is a pull factor, because it is welcoming the seed to grow there. Okay, so this is the pull factor. Okay, so I think this is clear to all of you. Now the question is, I think one question is more, then we will finish it. I think only I have 11 questions. So the next question is, what is the difference between dispersal and migration? So can someone please explain before me what is difference between dispersal and migration?
Dispersal is the permanent shift from one place to another. Migration is a seasonal thing. That is going in a specific time and coming back to our original place once that season got over.
Exactly. So dispersal is the movement of individual away from their place of birth or hatching or seed production in a new habitat or area to survive and reproduce. So here you see that there is a seed with the wind, because wind is the factor that will move this seed from one direction to different, and this seed will reach somewhere else in a new habitat and will grow. Okay, and it will germinate, will give a new tree. Okay, so this is a kind of dispersal. Migration is regular seasonal movement of animal, often along fixed route. It takes a fixed route. Okay, and here the reason is for the better resource and shift from harsh to amiable climate, because we know that there is some birds which migrate every year to survive, because India has because some Siberian birds come from the Siberia to India in a winter season, because in Siberia in winter season there is a very harsh condition. Okay, so they come in the winter time, and as soon as winter goes, they return back to their places. So this is kind of migration. Okay. There are three type of dispersal. The first is diffusion dispersal. The diffusion dispersal is nothing but the gradual movement over several generations, often across hospitable terrain. For example, the movement of lions across grid landscape. We can also say that, like, if there is a tree and the dispersal is being done of seed every year, like every year the seed drops a few meter away from the original place. So every year a seed germinate at a distance away from the original place. So after some generation, after some year, we will see that the spread of that tree has been increased, because dispersal is being going on. Okay, so this is kind of diffusion dispersal. The second is jump dispersal. It is the quick movement over large distance, often across unsuitable terrain. This is, for example, we have a ocean between two terrains. So this seed have to jump over the ocean to grow in the different terrain, okay, in the different region. So this will be the quick movement over large distance, and because in between that it is the ocean, the seed can't germinate in the ocean. So this is the unsuitable terrain between that. So this is the jump dispersal. The third is scalar dispersal. Scalar dispersal is very similar to the diffusion dispersal, but the difference is at each time whenever the seed will germinate at some distance away from the original position, it will evolve itself according to the climate. So the organism 10 kilometer away from the original position will have some adaptation, will have some adjustment. So this plant will not very much same to the original plant. Okay, so here the diffusion happens in the evolutionary time, and migrant are divergent. Divergent means like uh, there is adaptations in being going on, because they are going to the different region may have the different climate. So to adjust according to that climate, they have to adapt themselves. And if they are adapting the climate, it means that the evolution is going on, and this is evolution is divergent. So migrant are divergent from original position. Okay, so this was the 11 questions. I think the whole syllabus has been covered in this 11. Am I right or not? Or something else has been left? Who watched that 3 hour videos of Dr. Ankur Avadia? Like, who watched that 3 videos for that week?
Ma'am, I think the most of the things were covered in this thing.
Is anything left that we didn't revise?
I think there is in the first video there was a formula at the last of the video, quantum of human impact.
Okay.
So I think only
Oh,
that thing was missing, and every other things were covered.
okay, so we can cover it in next session if time allows us. But we have 2 hours to spend. It is more than I just told them to give me 1 hour, but they told me that I have to do it for the 2 hours. Like I have to take the 2 hours live session. So I don't know how to do that, but yes, we will do it. Any queries from you people, like whatever you didn't understand while watching the source video, or whatever the problem you are facing while watching, like any feedback? Momita?
Will they post any study materials?
Mm-hmm. Prajit, yes, please speak.
Will they post any study material for our reference?
Okay, I think he will provide you some reference book and some uh, materials. I will talk to him about it. So we will see it. But definitely he will share with you the some material so that you can study at length and explore more about it, right? So yes, we will talk about it. Any other question? Momita, has everything been cleared to you?
Yes, ma'am, everything is clear.
And did you watch sir video as well?
No, ma'am, I didn't get the time to watch the videos. I started it, but I couldn't
Uh-huh.
finish it.
Okay. You can finish it, but most of the thing has been revised. So I think it will be easier for you now to watch that videos.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Anshu, how's your experience?
My experience is good.
Have you watched the videos, sir's video?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You. But it will be easy. Like he explained everything in a very lenient way, so you will definitely understand. And you people are from geography, so no doubt you will understand it very fast, faster than me actually. So because I have the environmental background, so it take times for me to understand, but you people are from geography, then you will grasp it as soon as possible. Like you has the that mind of geography that you will grasp is fast. So don't worry, you will get it. Khushbu,
Yes, ma'am.
did you understand what I revised today?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you watch the video of sir as well?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Okay, please watch. Because and how many of you students are appearing for the examination as well? Like how many students are taking this course only to study, not for the certificate? Prajit, will you like appear for the certificate or not?
Till now, I don't have any ideas yet.
Okay, because the people who want to get the certificate are more serious than the people who just watch the videos without certificate. So I'm just want to see like how many of people want to get the certificate out of that course. So don't worry. But you have to study. Yes. Anjali, what about you? Anjali, I think Anjali is doing another stuffs. Okay, Arun Kumar. Arun, am I audible? Arun?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, what's your feedback about this live session?
Ma'am, it's a great session, ma'am, to record what you have learned uh, after SARS lectures.
So, did you attend the SIRS lecture?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, is something missing that I missed in this live session that I need to be added in the next session?
No, ma'am. I think no, everything is included. Just
Okay. Actually, I have added my email ID in the front page of that presentation and the last page. So whenever you feel that if some topics are not clear to you, then you can mail me about that topic, so that in the next live session I can give you the better explanation for that topic. Right. So don't feel panic. Don't be afraid. Try to communicate as much as possible, because we are just colleagues. We will discuss, we will know more, right? So it may be that I know less than you people. Okay, so you can add my knowledge. Okay, so this is a kind of discussion only. You can transfer your knowledge to me as well. Okay, so we will try to get every topic at a length, and try to like we'll cover every topic in such a way that you can pass the examination with very good marks. And that's why I'm just revising your syllabus in the form of question and answer. It may be that you can get the direct question from this presentation. I can't guarantee you because I have no link with the question paper making committee. But yes, because we are revising each and every topic in the form of question and answer, then we can expect that something we can get from this question and answer. Na? So this is what we want. Anjali Tiwari, can you please give the feedback like what is more needed in the live session? And has everything been covered or not? Anjali, are you here or not? Oh, Anjali is doing something different. I have talked about Ujma. Can you please, Ujma, are you here? Ujma? Yes, Prajit, please ask a question.
Can you share the mail ID? I have not noted it, so let me note the.
Okay. So this is my email ID, jyoti21@icerb.ac.in.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, so whenever you think that you have some doubt and you want to get more knowledge about that topic, then you can simply mail me so that in the next session I can come with a detailed explanation about that topic. Okay, so um, we will finish that session by 8 because I don't want to waste your time by 8, but I have the requirement from 6 to 8 to be there. So that's why I'm just getting feedback from you people so that we can have some communication, we can get ourselves entertained and know ourselves. Okay. Ujma, are you here? Ujma? Ujma? Okay, I think she's not here. So have you people started to watch the next week video as well, Rajit?
No, ma'am. Only week 1 I have completed now.
Okay, because I saw that the next week videos already have been uploaded, right?
Yeah, ma'am. It's uploaded. I think by yesterday.
And and has everyone completed the assignment? I saw the assignment. It is very easy for you, I think. So has everyone completed the assignment as well for the week 1? Rajit, have you completed the assignment?
I have done it. So one revision I need to make it before submitting it.
Okay, so do you have any problem in any question?
No, ma'am. I think most of those questions were directly from the video lectures, and some questions we need to watch those videos much more carefully to answer those questions. I think,
Okay.
but everything are
Oh,
direct questions, not much deep dived into any concepts or something like that. So SAR have also made it
the,
more clear.
these are kind of MCQs, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, and in that examination, you will get the subjective type question as well. So I think at that time you will get some conceptual questions in the examination for the certificate, but and I'm not sure about it. But yes, you will get some subjective type questions. And everyone has completed the assignment or not? Khushbu, Anshu, Momita?
No, ma'am.
Oh, it's very easy. When you will see the assignment, you will say, "Oh, this question I know. This the answer of this question. Yes, I know." You will complete it within 1 minute. So you must complete your assignment. Mhm. Anshu, have you completed?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Momita, have you completed?
No, ma'am.
You people are friend na? Who three girls are the friends? Anshu, Momita, and which one?
Ma'am Khushbu.
Okay, so Khushbu, Anshu, Momita, these are the three friends that are taking lecture together, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you people are from BHU and MSc final year, right? MA
No,
final year.
ma'am. MA first year.
Okay,
Ma'am,
MA first
second
year.
semester.
Okay, okay, second semester of MA, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and Khushbu? Khushbu also?
Ma'am, MA for first year, second semester.
Okay, first year, second semester. So you people are in the second semester of the MSc, right? Geography. We in the ISRB as well, there are so many people are from BHU. Like in my lab itself, there is like 4 people are from BHU. So I think that the level of education in BHU is so good. Prajit, from where you are?
I'm from Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, Sri Ishwar College of Engineering is where I am learning.
Okay, so I think South people do the engineering, I think. Every time whenever I talk to the South people, I just got to know that the people are just doing the engineering. So good. uh, okay, so I don't know about your college, but yes, I know about the BHU. Mm, there is one geophysics department now, so from there only my supervisor is, like, from the geophysics BHU. He did masters, and then he went Pune for the PhD, and then he came here in my lab as a supervisor. So he's my supervisor, and he's from because he's from BHU. So most of the student he is taking from the BHUs, because there is some kind of affections now. So yes, I know so many BHU people. Um, Rajit, have you visited North region or not, or you are still stuck in the South region of India?
Till now, I have been in South, but in near future, I will be coming.
Dear future. So what's your plan? Like you are doing BTech or something?
And be
What?
and
BE.
be bachelor's of engineering.
Okay, so there is a Bachelor of Engineering as well. Okay. So what's your plan next? Like post graduation, or like join some companies?
Joined any government jobs, trying for those things.
Okay, you told me that you want to prepare for the UPSC, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
You can go to Delhi, that Rajendra Nagar. Here it is a hub for the coaching centers for the UPSC. So you can go there. But I got to know that some people are like watching online videos on Academy and some other platform, and they are just clearing the exam. So uh, in 3 or 4 years back, the people told me that without coaching you can't do anything, but in this year this online classes and this online platform has been in such a way that people are able to crack the exam, UPSC like exam. So what's your plan, whether you will go for the coaching, or you will attend the online classes, or some you will use the online platform?
Need to use both the things in an effective manner. That is where our possibility of cracking it is available. So even the last year's topper, All India rank one
Mm-hmm.
topper, Shruti Sharma, I think her name. So she
Mm-hmm.
has studied in Byju's completely through an online course.
That's why I'm talking now. Ki, people are able to crack using these online classes. Um, Before that, online classes were not that much like good. Ki people can crack, but now these are so good. So yes, you can use both the online, and if you think that yes, I need some more focus, some more like competitive environment, then you can go to the Rajendra Nagar in Delhi, because in that area you will see that lakhs or crores of people are coming for the UPSC preparation, and you will see like how much competition you have for to get one IAS position. So yes, at that time you will experience like how much art should you study, and how much focus you must have to crack the exam. So sometimes it is necessary to get that environment as well. So because when I prepared for that CDS exam, I just saw the competition, and I was just like, yes, for me, that offline classes were so good at that time. And yes, online classes were not so prevalent. So I would say that, yes, if you think that offline class can give you the competitive environment, then you must go there and experience that competition so that you can prepare accordingly to that, right?
Okay.
Yes. Khushbu, what's your future plan? Hello, Khushbu. Khushbu, what happened? Are you like having dinner? Because this is dinner time, I think. Anshu?
Ma'am, preparation for UGC, NET and JRF.
Okay, so you want to be a researcher only.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to do PhD, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So so how you are preparing for the UGC NET or JRF exam?
Ma'am,
Like on
self
uh-huh.
study, self study, and some
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay, so I think you must have some previous year question bank as well, so that you can prepare it accordingly. Because when I was clearing that UGC JRF, first thing I did is I just brought that previous year question bank and saw that what type of questions they are being asking, because we can because from there we can get idea like what type of questions are being asked. So according to that, our mind has been set up, and in that setup mind we can study accordingly. Like we can remove some topics, we can remove some extra knowledge, because this will take a lot of time, but this will not come in the questions. Okay, so you have to prepare very according to the pattern of the UGC net. Okay, so I think you must buy that question bank, and based on that you should set up your mind like in what way you should start studying and preparing. Then I think you can clear, because when I was in like first semester of MSc, I cleared the net exam. Because my strategy was just like to see the previous year question paper and get the idea. So yes, you can definitely clear it.
Okay, ma'am.
Momita, what's your plan?
Ma'am, PhD.
You BHU peoples are so much like active for the research. Like you don't have any like aspiration for the UPSC or something like that. You just people want to go in the research area?
No, ma'am, some classmates do want to become IS officer, and some people are also interested in the government jobs, and some in doing PhD. So mixed.
Okay, so don't you think that like after MSc you have to spend at least 5 or 6 years for the PhD, and even that you have to like do some postdoctorate like for 1 or 2 years. After that you will get some position. So are you not afraid about that much time period?
Yes, ma'am. But right now I don't know what to do. Like,
No, it's very good to be a researcher, but I just want to tell you that yes, it will take your like 6 to 7 years before getting the job security. So you have to think it very careful, like whether you are going for the research or for the competitive exam. Sometime I felt that yes, if we prepare for the competitive exam 2 or 3 years, then we will definitely get the job. But if we do the PhD even after 7 years, we have like doubt whether we will get the job or not. But yes, I'm also the researcher, I'm also doing the PhD. So there is nothing positive and negative of the research line. I'm just discussing like what the things people talk about this PhD, about the competitive exam. So whatever you are planning for your future, you should think very careful about it, right?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. I think Anjali is not here. Anjali is also from BHU or not?
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, Anjali. From where are you?
Ma'am, I'm also from BHU.
Huh. Okay. So you also from geography?
Yes, ma'am.
So you are the friend of Khushbu, Anshu, and Momita?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We are classmates.
Oh my God. So you four are in hostel and attending this live session, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what's your future plan, Anjali?
Ma'am, PhD.
Okay, nice. So you people just start clearing the net exam so that you can get the PhD as soon as possible. And you know that in some institute like ICER and IITs, even if you have the net certificate, not the GRF, even then you will get the same scholarship as the GRF gets.
Ma'am, I'm not aware.
Yes, that's why I'm just telling, because when I was preparing for this JRF, I had the mind that if I have not the JRF, then I will get the admission in somewhere where I will not get the scholarship, because only JRF people get the scholarship and net people don't get scholarship. But IITs, ICERs are the institute where if you have gate qualification, or if you have only net, not the GRF, even then you will get the same scholarship as the GRF gets. So if you are if somehow you clear the net, then start appearing for the PhD interviews. Don't wait for the GRF. Okay, because
Yes, ma'am.
uh, as soon as you will get the PhD admission, you will finish in on the time, like it will take the time now. So you can appear in such kind of institutes.
Yes, ma'am.
I think time has been up, and this is the time to go. Any query right now? Any
No,
queries?
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. You can quit, and you can go.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you, ma'am. Good night.
Thank you,
Good
ma'am.
night. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.